My name is Laura Cullinan, and I grew up in the greater Peoria area, actually Brimfield. But I spent most of my adult life outside of greater Peoria, went away to college at the University of Notre Dame, then moved to Washington, D.C., back to Chicago for law school, practiced law there for 14 years before returning to Peoria with my husband, Alan. And we've been here for 10 years, and it's the best decision that we've ever made. I'm president of the Gilmore Foundation, which is a private foundation dedicated solely to improve the livability of the Tri-County community. We strive for collaboration, accountability, and impact, and I want to mention our board. They are an incredible group of people, and they embody all the characteristics that Bob Gilmore had. They are humble, they are generous, they strive to give others opportunity, and those that have an understanding that to whom much is given, much is expected.
I was born and raised in Peoria, but that wasn't really, the core reason I came back. I had a meeting with a family friend named Paul Joseph, and I was telling him we want to solve hard problems. We're helping people, get out of pain at Hike Medical. And he called me a hypocrite. He said, "You want to solve hard problems, but you don't want to help Peoria." So the next day I said, "All right, we're moving to Peoria." And my co-founder Steven and I moved back, and we've been here ever since, building and moving people to the region for Hike.
I've actually known Adi for maybe 10, 15 years, or 15 years now, actually, since we were little kids. I was a couple years older than him, but we ended up going to high school together and had a lot of the same interests. Wanted to kind of get into entrepreneurial ventures and start our own business. I've actually had flat feet, chronic flat feet, my entire life. The process for cutting custom orthotics was extremely long and tedious, so we decided that we could automate that process and kind of make it simpler for the user. And so that's kind of was the birthing of Hike.
Hike is focused on freeing people from foot pain. And so, what that really translates to is an employee benefit. So large corporations, especially with blue collar workers, they spend a lot of money on lower extremity MSK care. And that stems from the lack of a preventative solution. This costs companies a lot of money and workers are in pain. We're making foot care more accessible. We use machine learning and 3D printing to remove the need for any clinical visits to get a custom pair of insoles. So we turn the situation into a win-win.
When my husband and I graduated Harvard, we were looking for a place to do our residency and ended up settling in Baltimore and went to Johns Hopkins, and that's where I did my emergency medicine residency. We really had the question of what's next. Miguel had an extraordinary opportunity really here in Peoria, marrying the research work that he had done in the past with all the resources at JUMP to sort of more of a private practice opportunity.
So some of the things that originally drew me to Peoria is that I was always interested in research and technology. When I came to interview, I spent some time at JUMP and was really captivated by the amount of work that's being done here in terms of startups, technology, new innovation. So that really got me excited to be here. So with Bradley, I am one of their team physicians. So it's been enjoyable for me for the last 6-7 years that I've been taking care of the athletes. I'm able to interact with them on the field and in the training rooms and here in the office. So it's been a great experience for me.
As we started to get more and more integrated into the community and feel that there was an ability and an excitement, I think, about the things that we're developing locally, I decided to transition from Hopkins to being able to work at OSF Healthcare as well as the University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria.
We've gotten involved with a lot of the organizations in the community, such as the museum, Friendship House, Art Inc., the Easter Seals. There's a lot of organizations that we're currently involved in. I think that Peoria in itself has this great sense of community that encourages you to be involved in your community. That is not very common in other places that we've lived.
John Morris really hit the nail on the head when he coined Peoria as the city of gratitude. We are the most giving community in the country, and you can see that with organizations like Easter Seals and the incredible United Way. 1 in 4 Americans has a disability, and having access to world-class medical care is important. People will move here for that benefit. We've got Easter Seals, we've got OSF, we have Carl. We have a lot to brag about here, and we need to start telling people.
So our child, Diego, is diagnosed with high-functioning autism, and when we first came to Peoria, my big concern was will there be a community that can not only give him his services, but also make him feel accepted in a way that he can actually fulfill his true potential. From the beginning, Easter Seals was able to make sure that he had the resources he needed, but also always went above and beyond.
Being an orthopedic surgeon, work-life balance is always a little tough. We have a family of 6 currently, soon to be 7. However, the fact that I live in Peoria allows me to have some kind of work-life balance compared to other places. It's very easy to get places, so it only takes me about 10 minutes to get to work, which means I'm able to get up in the morning and help get my kids off to school. For the same reason, when I get out of work, I'm able to get out and be able to help coach my kids' basketball team or coach my kids' soccer team and take them to their sporting events.
My husband Alan and I chose to come back to Peoria because we wanted to be closer to our families, and we wanted to be part of a community where we can make an impact. We wanted to give back and help people and get involved, and that's something that you can do in Peoria.
Yeah, Peoria is a great place. There's a lot of outdoor areas. I think our park district is similar to the size of the San Diego Park District, which is pretty rare. There's a lot of different diverse cultural foods. Peoria has a wide range of places to eat and people to meet. With a few other startups in the area, which have all been really supportive to us since we've been here, we started a Peoria Tech Pickleball League where software engineers, business people, and people from these companies get together, and we enjoy the new fun sport of pickleball. It's a good way for people to come together, people who've moved from other places in the country to get together with similar interests and really build a proper tech community in Peoria, which is starting to come together.
I don't think I could have had a better place to grow up than Peoria, and especially for the type of business I wanted to get into and kind of going down my own path. The community and the people around me really made that happen.
Besides being the most giving community in the country, I would say that Peoria is a small town with big city amenities. And it's not just the amenities of what you can get, but we are an incredibly diverse community, and we all gain from that. We can learn from each other, and that diversity is something that makes us really special, and I think that sets us apart from other smaller communities.